Welcome to the Doug Freidman Show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Doug Freidman Live podcast show. We are on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Undefeated Media page, Doug's page. We're all over the place right now, and we're hoping you're tuning in live with us today, so we can answer any questions, comments, or concerns you have about pretty much anything. So if you put a question or comment in the comment section, B-Rock over here manning the station will be able to bring it right onto the screen, and we can live answer any questions you may have. So we got a fun-filled show. I have some questions that were submitted that we're gonna, these are some great topics. So we'll talk about that. And I think we're gonna have a nice show. B-Rock, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. A little tired. It was not a hectic morning, but time flew.
Time flew.
And I feel like I was rushed out the door. But
Wow,
it is what it is.
how
We're
many
here.
times did you hit the snooze button?
0. I'm not a snoozer.
Nice.
I try my best. Yeah, I tried my best not to get into the habit of snoozing. I think it's a scary thing. It's a dangerous thing,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not much of a snoozer, thankfully.
Well, there is a book called, I don't know the name of the book. I just know if you type into Google something along the lines of like get out of bed within 5 seconds or 5 minutes, there's like a book to this. And snoozing is probably, according to the book, probably the worst thing you can do, because if you get out of bed right when you wake up, you're like kind of up. If you get out of bed within that first 5 minutes, you're statistically more likely to get more work done and be in a better mood.
Yeah.
But as soon as you hit that snooze button and you're like, another 8 minutes, another 8 minutes, another 8 minutes, you're more likely to stay in bed.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the topics we have today. So we're gonna touch base on that. Now, also, I have this like notebook app on the iPad, and I opened up the notebook and there was like a past notebook that was made and whatever. And long story short, there's a quote that was just on the screen on this notebook. So we're gonna start the show with this quote because it's a pretty good quote and it's pertaining to the stuff that we're gonna be talking about today. The quote is, and I don't even know if I made this or I found this. I hope I can claim this. It's pretty. I think it's dead on, and it's just basic facts and knowledge. So here it is. Whoever came up with this in my notebook. You don't need to be an expert to start, but you need to start to be an expert. So that's a good part, good segue to start the show, because I'm a big advocate of just starting and not waiting for the perfect time, because there is no perfect time. So you don't need to be an expert to start, but you need to start to be an expert. So what are you doing today that is helping you get your goals and attain your dream? It's very important to start. It's very important to make that leap of faith. You don't need to quit your job. You don't need to, sell your car, maybe or house or whatever. Like you can transition into things, but you got to start somewhere. And you got to put stuff out there. You got to, put your best foot forward. And people want to be part of the journey with you. They want to be a part of the story. They want to see how you're doing things behind the scenes. And that's what social media is all about, is being part of the journey. But in order for people to follow you and be part of your journey, you need to start. So that's a good place to start with the podcast and with the show today. As always, if you're just tuning in, if you leave a question, comment, concern in the comment section, we will answer it live with you today. So we have some questions or comments that were emailed and submitted. If you ever want to send a question in, the email address is Doug@undefeatedmedia. Nice job, B-Rock. Doug@undefeatedmedia.com. You could submit a question there, or right above that, Brian, we have our Instagram handles, Doug Freidman and Undefeated Media, at both of those. So if you want to have your topic or covered, submit it there or live in the comment section. So one of them was about timing. People are asking, when is a good time to post? Now, different industries, you gotta think of this logically. Let me reset. You need to think of this logically. If you're a coffee shop, I'm gonna put my I'm gonna post a lot of my stuff during times when people will be thinking about getting their coffee. So I might have a post. I might set a post for like 5 o'clock in the morning, um, with like a nice picture of a fully, cooked or made cup of coffee with the foam on top and the color design and whatever. And like, we're here to start our day. How are you doing? People wake up. People wake up. They, go on to Instagram and, oh, there's a nice cup of coffee. I like a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Now, every industry is different. Every company is different. Every social media profile is different. And these are all tools that you can find and use to your disposal in the apps. You can actually, go to your analytics and find when people who are following you are most active on the page. So for us and most of the clients that we work with, 3 o'clock in the afternoon seems to be a hot time. So like 3 o'clock's a hot time, and then pretty much everything after 5 o'clock. From 3 o'clock to like 12 o'clock at night, people are very active on social media. We're not going to post something at 12 o'clock at night because everyone's getting off of the app. So we want to we target 3 o'clock in the afternoon because we'll get the people who are just, it's a hot time. And then we also get the people hot time at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So we get that whole chunk of time. But moral of the story is everyone's different. Every situation's different. And you got to find what your followers want and need because it's all about them. So when it comes to timing, on average, we've noticed 3 o'clock in the afternoon is a good time. But you got to find out what works for you guys. Weekends and Mondays. So like people are still in weekend mode on Monday. So Monday morning is actually a hot time too, because people are like, don't want to be at work and they're doing whatever they can as they transition into work mode. So they'll be sitting at their desk and they're like not into it yet. And surprisingly, Monday mornings is a hot time as well. But I digress. It all depends on your business and who are following you because it's all about them. So if they're on at a certain time, you gotta post at that time. Next subject, waking up. So this is not the first time I've heard this. I had a roommate in college too, who would never wake up. His alarm clock would be those annoying alarm clocks that are plugged into the wall. Annoying alarm clock. I could hear it from down the hall. And this kid wouldn't wake up. I come back from class at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, still the alarm clock's going off. So whatever. I've never experienced that, but I've never had this issue. But I would throw basketballs off his head and throw a lacrosse ball off his head. Like he wouldn't wake up. Now, like we were saying at the beginning of the show, there's a book, First 5 Minutes. Is it crucial? And waking up. There's also another book called like Make Your Bed, where like making your bed is super important because it's your first victory and that carries over to the rest of your tasks of the day. So you're just collecting victories, right? From my experience, I don't have any sleep issues. So I can't talk about the kid who literally 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the alarm clock's going off and he's not waking up. I can't give you advice on that. That might be something you need to talk to a doctor about.
Yeah.
But I can say, that's a little over my pay grade. But I can say for me personally, waking up, I may be dead tired. I may be, exhausted. My body doesn't want to get up out of the bed. But my passion and my drive and the things I need to do, I force myself to get up. I literally, I don't want to, but I force myself to get up. Very rarely hit the snooze button like B-Rock over here.
Yeah.
Brian doesn't like the snooze button. I very rarely, it's like, you know what, maybe I'll hit it once just to like lay there. And maybe I'm not even like sleeping. I just kind of like transition into the up position. Or I'll like check emails or whatever. I'll still have the snooze going. So I have a timer like, all right, you got to actually get up now. But the passion, the drive, the goals, the tasks, the deadlines, like that's what gets me up. If I didn't have anything to do, it'd probably be hard to get up because I got nothing to do. But the things that I need to do get me up, and you should use that to get you up. If I don't get up, guess what? The company down the street that's just started up in the garage, they've been up for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
my competition's been up for 3 days straight. There's always someone out there looking to take your lunch. So use that as a motivation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Right.
mean, I know. I forget where I heard it. I think it was this week, but somebody said the biggest part of going to sleep is setting something to do the next day. I think if you go to bed without any real expectation, or not, maybe not expectation, but if you just go to bed
Mm-hmm.
and not have anything planned that you need to get done the next day, odds are you're just going to dilly dally because time isn't important. There's no urgency.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be super serious, but I mean, for me today, getting to work, I mean, that's something all of us have to do. But
Yeah.
on weekends, something that I've noticed is that if I have nothing going on a weekend, it makes that Monday super difficult because I kind of just get out of the groove.
Mm-hmm.
That weekend, I may be able to relax, but then Monday hits way harder.
Yeah.
So just trying to stay productive in any capacity during the weekend
Mm-hmm.
is big for me, at least in terms of getting my day going.
Yeah, I mean, an object that is in motion or object that stays in motion is in motion. Whatever.
Yeah,
What's the
something
quote?
like that.
What's the quote?
An
Anybody?
object in motion stays in
There you
motion, or
go.
something
An
like that. Yeah.
object in motion stays in motion. So if you're doing completely nothing on the weekends and sleeping all day, that Monday's going to hit harder because you like stopped the bus, you stopped the
Mhm.
train. So it's good maybe to take a hike, be awake, do something, even if it's not work, just something
Yeah.
to be present in the moment. That you can, keep the ball rolling and keep being productive. And especially if you have your own business, there's always something to do. So, yeah, you want to, take time to be with friends and family and have that work-life balance,
Mhm.
but do something, be awake, be present in the moment, and you can keep that ball energy going.
Yeah.
Um, there's a good segue for question number 3. How do you stay motivated and what motivates you? Kind of just answered it. We kind of just went over it. So I use the motivation to wake up. I use like the things that are going on in business and the projects we have to do. I am using that as motivation. My actual motivation is we're building a full service production and marketing studio that is unmatched to anything in our area right now. And we are in Bergen County, New Jersey. So we're developing a product that, is unmatched and can't be competed with. And we're planting that flag into this area to help local businesses, to help small businesses, to give them that competitive edge so they're able to be successful and compete with, Goliath. So,
Mhm.
I'm a fan of the underdog. And it's kind of like a David and Goliath match right now. So we're providing high quality content and footage with the highest quality equipment that some of these businesses wouldn't be able to afford unless they were, working with us. So we make them a cost effective a package, and we take care of the production. We got drones, 360 cameras, the podcast studio. We make the content, and then we also help them get it in front of the right people. We make sure the right people see it. You could post something today. Let's say you have 1,000 followers. You post something today, it's not going to all of your followers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you. You have 1,000 followers. You post something, it's not going to all your followers. It's going to about 10% of your followers. Easy math. Let's say 100 people. Now, if those 100 people don't interact with that post, you're telling whatever platform you're on that this content's not that good. So the next time you post, they're not going to show it to those 100 people. They're going to show it to 90 people. You post again, something doesn't resonate with anyone, no one cares. They're going to show it to 80 people, 70 people. You're just going to be destroying your organic reach. Now, if you put out engaging content that gets likes, comments, shares, saves, saves are the big one. Here's a big tip. Clip this one, Connor. Here's a big tip. The save button feature has the most bonus points in the back end. So if people are saving your post, it's like 10 bonus points. If they like your post, it's like 2 bonus points. If they comment on your post, it's like 4 bonus points. So you want to make stuff that people want to keep and save, like, comment, and share. You do those things, you're helping Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube. You're helping those platforms keep people on the platform. So they're going to be like, this person's helping us. Let's show it to more people because it's keeping people on here engaged. Let's show it to more people. The more people on our platform, the more advertising space we could sell, the more money we can make. So this person's helping us. Let's help them. And it's logic. It's like so many people think there's like a hack or there's an algorithm. There is an algorithm, but there's like, there's some cheat code. Exactly.
Yeah.
There is no cheat code. The only cheat code is do the work. So, you don't have to be an expert to start, but you got to start to be an expert. So start and focus on helping people and try to build a community of 4 people, 5 people, help them in their area that they need help in or your area expertise and grow that. If you can't answer the comments to your 100 followers and provide them with good quality help or expertise or whatever, how are you supposed to do it with 50,000?
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone wants the end result. You might not be able to handle the end result. So you might want to put the practice in now and make this content, make this podcast now, get your muscles going, warming up. And it's a good thing that no one sees it because the first couple episodes are going to suck.
Yeah.
So work on your craft and then put the time in. And then by episode 30, now you've built a following. You got your chops. You worked out that muscle. And now, you're the expert.
Right. And I mean, if you think about it like this, in a way people can kind of understand is one-hit wonders with music, right?
Yeah.
So, let's say I put out a song tomorrow and it blows up on TikTok or something. And then everybody's like, oh man, what else does this guy have? And I have a catalog of 2 songs. I'm not going to get anywhere because, there's no content for people to watch. So you got to put in that time. You have to put in the effort. And, it's not going to happen overnight. But with consistency and practice and time, things are going to work out. If you're working on your craft and you're putting out good content, it will get seen and it will grow. It's going to take time and it's not going to be the same for everybody, but you need to be able to say that I put in the work before you're going to see the results.
Yes. So a perfect example, knee-jerk reaction to Brian's comment is Lil Wayne. You could find YouTube videos like he literally nonstop recording. He had recording studio on his tour bus. So he would do a show as they're touring to the next venue for the 12-hour ride. He'd be recording songs and songs and songs. Every day he was putting out a new song. Whether it was his original or remix or something. So, if it's you want to be at that level, you want to make it, you want to break from the mold. Are you doing that?
Right.
So it's the same thing when I tell businesses when they're telling me like social media is not really, worth it for them, or they don't think they're going to get anything out of it. Well, great. If you don't do it, someone else will. So if you're perfectly fine not doing social media, don't be surprised if some 17-year-old kid who's also making cookies and selling cookies is putting all the stuff out there and people are loving it and they decide to use him. So if you don't do it, someone else will. So, we're here to help. We're also telling you what you should be doing so you can do it yourself as well. But like, if you don't do it, someone else will. Lil Wayne was putting out a song every single day. He was nonstop recording. Some songs would hit and be great. Some songs maybe not. But he was putting in that work. You want to be at that level, you got to do it too. Success leaves clues. If you find successful people, they'll give you clues to what they did to be successful. We got here. We got a comment?
We got a comment here from Connor. He's saying, saving great content for future reference boosts your present immensely, so make it great. I agree.
Let
me put that back up.
Saving great content for future reference. I got it. Boost your presence immensely. All right. So are we saying like you put out content and people are saving it?
No, he's saying to make sure the content you're putting out is good so you can save it and use it.
Oh, yes. So that's what we're doing here right now.
Right.
So we want to put out great content. So we're doing this here today to help you guys and put out great content. Selfishly, we're making this too, so I could take out a clip just like this one. Here you go. Just like this one. This is why we're doing it, that I can make a nice little minute clip and put it on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're repurposing stuff. We're making it custom for the platform we're putting it on. But we're selfishly giving out good stuff for you guys for free so you guys can have tips and trips. But selfishly, we're using this content that we can post on our social media and get our message out there. So yeah, great job, great job. That's I
Yeah.
mean that's what we do everything, and that's why we push businesses to collaborate, to do a podcast, so we could have an immense amount of content and always be providing value, rather than trying to reinvent the wheel and like make this like one video that's going to be a magic post and then everyone's going to want something from us. Sorry, you got to build the trust, you got to build the relationships.
Hmm.
That's the most important.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's about those relationships. There is enough food out there for everybody to eat. There
Ooh,
is.
yeah.
I think people got to realize that um you don't have to see everything as competition.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good to feel that competitive nature in
Mm-hmm.
terms of trying to grow, but what's the harm in a restaurant showing some love to a landscaper or things like that? I mean,
Yeah.
there are people that won't help anybody out because they feel like that's, nobody helped me, so I won't help
I got
anybody
an even
else.
better example, right? Those were two industries that have nothing to do with each other,
Yeah.
no competition. We just did a video with TS Ma and a pizza place.
Oh yeah.
They both do takeout. They both do deliveries. They both, they're in a similar space. They technically could be competition. They came together and we did a collaboration video for them that got crazy amount of virality, likes, comments, shares. People were loving it. And basically, TS Ma makes these amazing meatballs.
Hmm.
And the pizza place wanted to take those amazing meatballs and put them on the pizza and make a special TS Ma pizza. So a collaboration product, and provide that to the local community. Crazy amount of recognition, crazy amount of views, crazy amount of likes, crazy amount of following. Now everyone that enjoys TS Ma is seeing the pizza place, and everybody who follows the pizza place is now seeing TS Ma because there's collaboration videos on
Yep.
both of those pages. And people aren't going to eat Chinese food every day.
Right.
People aren't going to eat pizza every day. There's enough to go around. So
Hmm.
now they came together, and now they're building their community, building their following together, and they can help each other grow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We got the comments rolling in. I do want to remind you guys, we are live. So if you have a question, comment, or concern, please put it in the comment section and we will answer it live.
Oh yeah.
So what do we got here?
So Rachel said, "Woo woo, great podcast,
Nice,
Doug and Brian.
nice.
Thank
Thank
you, Rachel.
Thanks for tuning in. And Rachel, if you have a question, please don't hesitate to ask. We love Rachel. She's the best
Yes,
here at
we
Undefeated
do.
Media. Go ahead.
And Connor had a follow up here. It's not just the one song that makes you; it's the work you've done that breaks you in. So do and make the work."
Awesome. Great job, Connor, as always. There's also a quote, I believe, pressure bursts pipes and builds diamonds, makes diamonds. Pressure busts pipes and makes diamonds. So there you go. That's kind of like in the quote version of what Connor just said, but he's 100% correct. This isn't going to be easy. Nothing worth having or worth doing is easy. There's tools, tricks, there's things you can do to make your life easier. But at the end of the day, you got to figure those things out. And it's a process. It's a learning process. And there's no light switch. There's no slot machine where you put in $100 and $5,000 comes out. Everything takes time, effort, and the more work and effort you put into it, the more you will see the fruits of your labor in the end. You might not see it right away. There might be a lot of learning you need to do. Learning lessons we can cover one day, maybe. But one learning lesson that I've learned this week, and it's gonna sound a little harsh, but something that I learned this week, because I'm very passionate about what we do here, and I'm passionate about helping businesses. But sometimes you need to take a step back and realize that we can't be caring about people's businesses more than they care about their own business. So this is a perfect segue, because what the podcast originally was, and Brian entitled Game Time. You got to step up to the plate. So there's tons of stuff we could do, but you still need to show up. We're here to take stuff off your plate. We're here to help you make great content, post it, make sure people see it. But like you gotta bring your expertise to the table. You got to make sure your product's actually worth having. Like if you have a product that's not really ironed out yet, that people don't really, enjoy, or whatever the issue may be, and you do a great social media campaign, you're just exposing yourself. You're just, they in sales, they call it burning the territory. So if you have a product and you go around making sales, but the product's no good, you're developing a bad reputation of a bad product. So yeah, you could send the team at Undefeated Media to promote your product and save the day, and get the message out there, and make this great content and get word of mouth, and all the great stuff that we could do. But if there's links in the chain, if there's problems, it's just exposing you. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have something worth having. You have everything ironed out. Your product's good. You got, people who are happy with that, because social media and what we do is just going to expose it, and it's just going to put it on steroids. So, I don't want to name names. We'll keep this short and sweet as much as possible. We had a client, and I don't even want to name names. How can I do this without making it as generic as possible? So a long, long time ago, we were working with, a salon, and they were getting people who were getting fired from other salons, which was red flag number one. So they were bringing them in. We're great. We want, everyone gives everyone a second chance. We were putting out good stuff, and people were coming to the salon. Now, there was an instance, where the person cut somebody's back of the neck when they were shaving or whatever. There was a situation, and there was like multiple situations. So like people were coming, having a bad experience, and then like going and telling people they were having a bad experience. So we were burning the territory. We're getting people in the door. We can get people in the door for you, but if they're getting cut or have a bad experience, they're never coming back. Burning the territory. They're never coming back, especially like a salon or a haircut place. Like you come there, you might say, yeah, okay, this is an okay haircut. Yeah, I'm satisfied. And they leave. But if they're not 100% satisfied and thrilled, they're never coming back, because one, they don't trust that stylist that did their hair, and two, it's like the salon walk of shame, right? So like if you get a haircut from someone, and this is just how I envision it, and not like perception. If I get a haircut from someone and I'm not satisfied, I'm not going to go back to that salon, because I don't want to go and book an appointment with another stylist and then like the awkward walk of shame look from the stylist from before. I just think that's like weird. I don't know. That's just me. And I feel like other people have that mentality too.
Right.
Like they're like, oh, that person cut my hair last time. I'm like, okay.
When you said walk of shame, I thought you were talking about the walk from the chair to the front desk to pay, when you're like, I hate how I look. That's how I was every single time after I got a haircut. Yeah. And I went to the same place every single time. And then one day I said, you know what? Not getting a haircut. And that was 2 years ago, and now I have this. So despite what it may seem like, I did at one point get haircuts regularly.
Interesting. Nice. But yeah, the walk of shame I'm talking about is walking in the door, booking another appointment with another stylist, and then the other stylist saying, I believe that people would avoid that situation, especially in the world we live in now. They don't want to feel awkward. They would, and they would choose another salon completely. So you want to make sure, as best as you can, you don't want things to slip through the cracks. You want to make sure that you have something nice and quality to present. And then you want to develop content and following and build trust with that. Video testimonials. We talked about burn the territory. That's a big sales term. How about keeping up with the Joneses is another big sales thing. The Joneses across the street just got a brand new Mercedes. I want a brand new Mercedes. The Joneses across the street just put the Christmas decorations up, honey. We should put our Christmas decorations up. So everyone's trying to keep up with the Joneses, right? So when you're doing video testimonials, you have great people supporting your work. You got people in the comment section, really pushing for you, and a fan and all about what you do. It's just going to attract more people who are like-minded to trust you as well. Because, I got, a haircut from Undefeated Media. Maybe I should get a haircut from Undefeated Media, right? So, there's a lot of things you need to do. Not one part of the whole process is necessarily more important than the others. It's more like a 4-course meal. You want to make sure your product's actually good. Maybe that's your steak. You want to make sure you have proper content and video production and social media. Maybe that's your potatoes. You always gotta eat your vegetables, right? So maybe that's like having like an operational website and place where they can actually make purchases and an Instagram page so they can see what you're up to, right? So it's more of like a 4-course meal. And a lot of people put the blinders on and they might have, they might have great content, but then when someone buys them, they're not satisfied. So what happens then? Person no longer uses you and they're going to tell their friends not to use you either. Um, so yeah, we're covering a lot today. This is great stuff. As always, questions, comments, concerns, please put them in the comment section. We'll answer them live here with you today. Absolutely free. Anything in studio, guys? We got anything in the studio? Anybody? Nothing?
I'll take that as a no.
Go ahead.
Stay motivated doing the work.
Motivation, doing the work. So I'm a big picture guy. I'm a super big picture. Oh, looks like it just popped in. Brian, why don't you click the comment section?
It did.
This might be doing the work. How do you stay motivated? Thank you, Connor. I'm a big picture guy. So what keeps me motivated, what gets me out of bed is knowing that we're building this business, we're building this production facility for the long term, for the big term. And what do I mean by that? Right now, we're in the podcast studio. We have the green screen room across the hall. We have the YouTube studio. But the big picture is we're developing a film and TV studio set. We've already had talks with the producers of Pepsi about doing a Pepsi commercial. So that's what keeps me motivated. And, I have to stay humble and patient because as much as I've know we can do it now and I'm raring to do it now, I need to make sure that now processes and machines are operational at 100% and locked in and it's a well-oiled machine because I don't want to bite off more than I can chew and set ourselves up for failure, right? So on the macro, on the big picture ideas, I got big picture, big dreams, and we're always striving with our compass due north or due big picture. But on the everyday, I'm everything. I'm present in the everyday small stuff. So big picture, I know it'll happen, and I'm motivated by it. But every day, I got to make sure the little stuff is taken care of. I got to make sure our clients are called back or emailed, or we have content posted for them, or my team is working efficiently and answering their questions. Because if we don't do the everyday stuff here today correctly at 100%, it's going to affect us later on and might affect my big picture. That's a good one. That's a real good one. Anything else, guys? Go ahead, Rachel. Do you want me to show you a cool dance move? I don't have any cool dance moves, Rachel. What?
I don't
cool
have
dance moves
either.
I don't have it. I used to be able to. So I, played sports in high school. I wind up playing Division I lacrosse. Played some box lacrosse in Canada, semi-pro stuff in Canada. So athletics was a big part of my life, and I was always lifting, running, jumping, whatever. So as far as like my go-to dance move, there were times where if the party got pretty crazy, I might bang out a backflip or two. So the backflip was my like, oh snap! Can I do it now? Absolutely not.
Amato's got those gymnastics mats out.
Maybe on those, I'll give it a shot. But I like, if the quote, if you don't use it, you lose it. I definitely have not done the backflip in a long time.
So doing a backflip is not like riding a bike. You don't
No,
just hop on it and you're
no,
fine.
no, not at all. Not at all. You gotta keep that muscle going because you'll end up straighting your head.
Yeah.
As always, questions, comments, concerns in the comments section. We are, dwindling down here. Any minute, we're coming to the end. But yes, if you don't use it, you lose it. The backflip, and there were times where like I hurt myself, but there were times where, it didn't feel good landing.
No, I can imagine. Yeah. There's a lot that can go wrong.
There's a lot that can go wrong. We got another comment there, B-Rock.
Oh, we got two. So this is from Michael Hayden. I
Yes,
remember those
Mike.
sick dance
Yes,
floor
see?
backflips.
Testimonial.
We have
We
some
have a live
testimonials.
testimonial. I'm not lying. I could bang out backflips, and like, you know, they were pretty risky. I must say. Like, I don't know if you got around here. There's a nice little bar in Hillsdale called the Cornerstone,
Mhm.
and like you go down the steps and there's this like dance floor area, which isn't the biggest in the
No,
world.
not at all.
And there were times where I'd bang out the backflip like in a crowded dance floor and like go up, do it, and then slide right back in like a pencil where I was standing. It was I don't know how I don't know how I didn't like kick someone in the face. But anyway, what else we got?
We got one from Renee here. You have vision and don't even think about failure.
Yeah.
Yep.
We love Renee. Renee's the best. Check out 1111 Healing.
Oh yeah.
She's one of our clients and does a podcast in this very studio and does a great job helping her community, providing value, doing great stuff. Pull up that link too. There you go.
Well, we've got
Any day now. You want email her info@1111healing. So definitely check her out. And I believe
their website.
There's the website, and their Instagram is @1111healing. For like Instagram and TikTok. You type in 1111, it's the first thing that comes up. You guys should be okay. But yes, we don't even like that's like so this is actually great too. Thank you, Renee. You're gonna segue us perfectly to the next subject. We pull up her quote one more time.
Oh, this is from Renee today.
We are putting out a Netflix 100%. So big picture stuff. See, we have big picture stuff. Me and Renee have talked about putting out this Netflix documentary. That's the big picture. Is it happening tomorrow? Absolutely not. Are we capable of doing it right now today? Yes, but we need to do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to do this. We have a process to it. There's no light switch. I'm going to bring up what you said before about failure. Yes. So we have the vision. There's going to be failures. There's going to be things that go wrong. But as long as we don't quit, we'll never really fail. And this is great too. Press number 3 there, Brian. There we go. So as long as you never quit, you never really fail. Hence the name Undefeated Media. As long as you keep going for your dream, as long as you keep putting content out there, as long as you keep going for it, you will never lose unless you quit. Now, there's going to be things that get in the way. There's going to be hard times. You might have to put things on pause. You might have life events. Who knows? But don't quit, especially if it's something you love to do. And that's one of the reasons why my company is called Undefeated Media. But thank you, Renee. That is great. 100%. Renee, you should, you want to call in right now? We would love to have you because this is the stuff that you talk about as well. So yes, put that up one more time, Brian.
Yeah.
What Renee just said. In those failures are lessons. 100%. I think we said at the beginning of the show as well.
Mm-hmm.
In those failures are lessons. So don't even think of them as failures. And to me, failure is death. Failure is quitting. So as long as you're still going, they're more of lessons. So, failure to me is death, is quitting, is end. The word failure to me, there's an end point there. As long as you're still on the road, as long as you're still on track, things that people call failures, I call lessons.
Yeah.
I'm sure Renee agrees. What else we got?
Renee wanted to know how she can be a caller.
Oh, yeah.
So if you would like to call into the show, the number is right there, 201-351-0599.
We can actually might even
just send her a link.
Yeah, text me, Renee, if you want. I can send you a link, but like if you're ready for a link, or you could call. There's the caller. Be a caller. That's our Undefeated Media line. So you can put that up one more time, Brian. It's 201-351-0599. And speaking of that, so that's our Undefeated Media line. We could take callers for the podcast. There's actually a new development we're developing. We actually got to go soon in a minute. Is a text message community where you'll be able to directly text message us, and we can help you and give you tips or give you a motivational quote of the day. That'll come out like next week. We already have it. I had it for a year. I've been paying this thing for a year, but we just haven't really, just like the vlog. We have all this great content. We gotta, be focused and put that out there because we're more focused on our paying clients than we are our actual stuff. So our stuff goes to the wayside. Here we go. I think this is Renee. We got our first caller. Undefeated Media.
Hey, Dougie.
How are you? So, Brian.
I'm good.
So Brian, can you hear?
I can hear. Yeah.
All right. So I have you right up on the microphone here. You're our first caller for today. So Renee is awesome. Thank you, Renee, for calling in. How are you doing?
I'm good. I always think it's good to have somebody to actually engage with and not be talking to the air sometimes. I thought I'd help you in your manifesting, co-creating efforts and give you a call.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much. We already told people to check out your podcast. Everything that you're doing is great. And we love to be part of the journey with you. Is there anything that you want to touch base on or a question or what's going on with you?
Yeah, you know what? Let me pose this question for you.
Okay.
I have been on the social media marketing circuit for a really long time now,
Yes.
probably since like 2015, right? And there's always been their ups and downs, and technology is always changing.
Yes.
And I mentor a lot of entrepreneurs, especially in the functional intuitive wellness world.
Mhm.
What would be, your advice about how to make the algorithms on social media work for you? Because it's not just about like putting up a post like 3 times a
Mhm.
week. There's more to it. Like a lot of people don't like to have to deal with the business end of things in terms of like marketing and sales. Do you have any advice on that?
100%. That is an outstanding question. And, none of all this whole show is not scripted, so that's an outstanding question. Thank you, Renee. So yes, you want to, so a lot of this stuff, what people don't realize, a lot of stuff is like kind of logical. If you really think about it, when I tell you this, it's going to make sense. So as Renee said, this stuff's always changing. So how do you stay on top of it? You got to focus. If you focus on the things that are brand new and the features that are brand new, that's what these platforms want you to do. So they're going to reward you for doing those things. For example, we're live right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. They want more people to go live. So when I go live, it helps my algorithm. TikTok came out, right? The whole world was taken by TikTok, right? TikTok grew exponentially. And guess who shit their pants? Instagram. So Instagram made Instagram Reels, which is basically their version of TikTok. Now, if you do an Instagram Reel, that's what they want you to do. They're going to show that to 10, 150, 200 more times people than you would if you just post a regular picture, right? So, and let me not forget, the owner and CEO, whoever, the top guy at Instagram did this video, type it in YouTube, Instagram is no longer a photo sharing app. He came out and said, Instagram is no longer a photo sharing app. We're putting our time and effort into video and Instagram Reels. So if you do the things that they're asking you to do, they're going to show it to more people. So that's step one. That's like the stuff that's like easy. And another thing, and I think this might be part of the question that Renee is looking for too, is like people think they need to post every day, right? Which is okay and good if you're doing quality stuff that they get engaged with. I much rather, and what we strive to do is have 2 to 3 posts a week that are outstanding, that get engaged with the community. 2 or 3 of those per week. We much rather that than posting quote unquote garbage just to post every day, because you're actually going to shoot yourself in the foot. If you're just posting every day random stuff that doesn't really resonate with your community, you actually could be hurting yourself, because you're telling the algorithm, no one likes my stuff, show my stuff to less people. It's logic, right? Does that make sense, Renee? Did you leave us?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. No. I put myself on mute because I didn't want you guys to get any feedback from where I was.
All good. Does that?
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I always feel like the social media thing is very intuitive, but there are specific processes in place and that you have to like kind of like think about in terms of like the business model end of it to use it to your advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it looks like that's the camera one, Brian. But anyway, yes, absolutely. And I, yeah, it's a full-time thing, right? So yes, startup businesses, they might not have a budget to have someone do it for them. They want to work smarter rather than harder. So they want to put out, nice stuff. But at the end of the day, it is a full-time thing. And a lot of businesses will be like, oh, well, my niece is doing it. Oh, I got a relative doing it. Oh, Timmy, who's 12, knows how to use it, so he just does my stuff. You're actually going to trust your business and your PR. That's what social media is. Your public relations with a 12-year-old, with a 15-year-old to post stuff for you. I mean, you got to start somewhere. I get it, but like you're much better off finding someone to help you and taking it off your plate and doing it the right way in the long term. You'll be way better off but you might have to invest in yourself and your company at first. And that goes with everything.
That's like a huge block for a lot of people is the money mindset part of it. I definitely have struggled and worked with that and kind of healed that over the years. But it is true. I mean, you do have to invest money to make money, and money is really just it's a construct in the human eyes, but really it's just money is just energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
If there's good purpose and high vibe energy behind it, like I always believe that you put it out there, it'll come back.
Absolutely. People are perfectly fine paying for a billboard, but there's not even any. How do you know that the person saw your billboard contacted you? You're even getting more analytics on social media. You could put an ad up on Facebook for $50. You'll know exactly who clicked on that ad, how many people saw it, the business that came from it. You can track it. You can't track a billboard, but people are perfectly fine paying for a billboard. But then they demonize social media for some reason. But you got to put money in. You got to invest in yourself, no matter what marketing you're doing first. There's no magic slot machine that you put in $500 and $5,000 pops out. There's processes and stuff that goes with it. Any other?
Awesome. No, that's it. I'm heading to store and heading to the work.
Awesome.
So I will talk to you soon. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Guys, that's Renee from 1111 Healing. And as you just heard, she's just opening up the store. And I think I just got disconnected from her. We're just opening up the store, and you should go check her out. She just opened up the store. I just said that 4 times. Anyway, we're actually kind of late. So are there anything else, comments, questions in the comments section, Brian?
We got nothing else.
So that was a lot. Look, can you just pull up? Can you just click on that for me for a second?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Awesome. So yes, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was a fun-filled episode. A lot of good stuff in here. Connor, B-Rock, and Rachel will be providing you guys with some clips. Thank you. There's the Instagram pages at Doug Freidman, at Undefeated Media. Not only Instagram, I think those are the tags for everywhere. TikTok, LinkedIn. You type in that, you can find us. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Doug Freidman Show.
All right, mics are cut. Music is rolling.
Yeah, that's good. The camera died, so just